blah. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov. What it do? Episode 20 to the outlet to reality. The hardest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up with my co-host, Hami of Rain? This is the place where you want to escape your reality, hide from your drama, and you just need a place to, breathe. And I want to thank my fans for, joining us. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Cha-ching! All right, y'all. Today we got a special guest. Not only is he one of my main homies, but this guy could sing. He's a producer with over 800 subscribers on YouTube, and he has a lot of views on his music videos. Give it up for Edward Mante. What's up, brother?
What's good with you, man? How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing good, man. We're crack-a-lacking, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to share a time, brother, that, because, for those who don't know, me and Brian, we used to go clubbing a lot.
We go way back, bro.
Bro, this is like every guest on the show. It starts with the same story.
No, but this is true. This is true.
This is true.
This is true, yeah. So
no, I believe all of them.
Right. So there was a time me and Brian, we were invited to a birthday get-together at Latin Bliss. For those who don't know, it's the hottest club that has a lot of Spanish music. So we get there, and the funny thing is, there's a lot of bouncers, like 6'3", bald and all that. And I get there, and I recognize one. He's like, yo, what's up, David? What you doing here? I'm like, I'm here trying to chill with my boy, get a couple moves, here and there. Yeah. And he's like, bro, man, I haven't seen you in a while. How's mom? I was like, mom's doing good. He's like, hey, don't worry about cover. Like, you good. Just come through. So me and my guy, Edward, we get through. We didn't have to pay for cover. So I felt special at this time. Now, the funny thing is the girls that came behind us, they all had to pay $20 each for cover.
Finessed.
Yeah. And usually, if you guys know, like at the club, usually the girls don't have to pay. But this time, gender does not play a role in this situation.
Turnabout, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So we get there, we're looking fly, you know what I'm saying? We're feeling, the vibe, the music. And we're like, man, we got to go get a drink. So we get to the bar, and you're not going to believe who I bump into.
God, who is it?
My professor. He was the bartender. I was like, yo, professor, what you doing here? He's like, what you doing here? I'm like, I'm trying to have fun with these girls. You know what I'm saying? It's her birthday. And he goes, man, let me get y'all a drink. It's on the house, like shots. I'm like, nah, professor's good, man. I'll stick with extra credit. Like, don't worry about it. No, he's like, look, if you want to pass my class, you got to take the shot. I was like, oh, step, Patron, pop, 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 pop. Man, I took so many.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah.
Class, easy.
Yeah, easy.
Now
like
raise the stakes.
Right. And the crazy thing is, at the end of the night, my professor leaves with the chick, the birthday girl. I was like, hey, yo, this guy got game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
hey, if I could add to that story, let me add to that story. If anyone's wondering if when he says Brian's my birth name, by the way, but I just go by Edward for the singing stuff and everything. But when he mentions the girls that were behind us, we were actually with them. All right, so not saying any names, it was one of them's birthday party. Right, so there was about three or four of them, I believe. I think it was four of them, and it was just me and David. And we went to some place before the place he's talking about, and I've been watching the podcasts, and I'm glad to have known David before he reached his comfort zone, because there was a time, I'm not going to say what happened, but there was a time where we all go through it, where we don't find ourselves, our comfortable selves just yet. We sort of need that push to break us out of the shell. And I remember, like, he was asking me, like, hey, like, what should we do? I want to talk to that girl. I'm like, bro, I got you, bro. So we was in the place beforehand, and like I said, before, not saying David was shy or anything, but he wasn't as comfortable as he is now. So I'm glad to have pushed him in the way to get him like, yo, you got it. You're you. Just be you, and then next thing you know, 3 years later, he popping now, and that's what's up. I'm
Man,
glad to have known you, bro.
thank
Like
you,
it's,
bro. I appreciate it.
but no, yeah, that night was hilarious. And after that, we wanted to land in Bliss, and there was five of us. There was five, six of us, and then David knew the bouncer, so we wasn't even trying to be on some slick shit. We like Dave was like, "Yo, what's good, what's good?" And then the bouncer's like, "Yo, I could get you and your boy in for free." So we're like, "I bet, like, cool." And then we're like, "What about the girls?" And then he's like, "Nah, they're gonna have to pay." And we like, "Ah, okay." So it was kind of, but it was just like, all right, fuck it. And then that night was just hilarious. But no, David did say the funniest parts of the night though. But no, that was one of the first nights uh we really got back together, and then we turned up, and then we were able to. I wouldn't say we went too crazy after that, but anytime with David is a fun time. So yeah,
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
yes, sir.
And then, how many you got any questions you want to ask Brian?
So
Yes. So, obviously, we heard that you're a singer and everything, and heard some of your songs. So I heard only a couple songs, but so you're mostly R&B.
yeah, hmm
Okay. Okay. Cool. So just some questions if we don't want to have some sort of interrogation or some shit.
nah, for sure.
But do you follow some sort of like maybe like a formula when it comes to like writing music, maybe
Great question.
producing beats or something like that? This is
Yeah.
probably a question you get a million times. What do you think?
Oh, that's a great question. It's Hami, right? Is it Hami?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, man? First of all, thank you for having me on here. Just want to say thank you for that. And for me, it's to the point where what I do is I make the beat first, right? The beat is sort of my foundation to, laying the song down, laying the track. And the way I make the beat is I go off of like one thing. I don't. It doesn't all come at me all at once. So, for an example, I like to use either a bass guitar for like the bass line, and then I'll have some piano, some strings, just typical R&B stuff. But I want to say I try to find a melody from either a bass line or from the keys or the guitar. So I find one thing, and then everything else just flows off of that. So that's a really good question. I want to say most of the time, I would say usually the keys. I'll find some sort of catchy like sequence on the keys, right? And then the bass line will follow after that, and then next thing you know, the drums, with the snare and the kick or whatever. But the drums come after that, and then once I have the beat down, um I use like another program after the beat's done. So I use a program to make the beat, and then I use another program after the beat is made. And this is mainly for my vocals and for just coming up with how I add on the vocal layer to it. So not to say too much, but I want to say after the beat is made, I don't freestyle my my lyrics or my vocals, but I sort of think it through. But I really don't write it down. It's sort of on the spot, and I have like a home studio. Like I don't record at a music studio. I do all this like in my bedroom, bro. And then like I have my mic here and everything. And here
That
actually,
seems to be the new wave.
yeah, I had one of my they call it a MIDI keyboard, to where you have a lot of these software that's online, and it's in the program itself. And what this does is acts as a keyboard, and I could just play different notes on it. So
Oh, that's great.
so I use that, and it usually, I don't want to say the melodies just come to me, but I try to freestyle a melody, and then the words just come. And I write down the words after the whole song is done. Don't get me wrong, but I usually, I guess you could say I started using like a notepad, but it just doesn't feel natural for me.
Right.
I like the melody to sort of come to me after the beat is made. So I do the
Yeah,
beat.
so I'm sure like by now you're very comfortable when it comes to, you kind
Yeah,
of know what to do. When you started, how stressful was it? Or even now, I'm guessing you still might have periods of writer's block.
that's a great question. Well, the best way to answer that question in starting out is to sort of just say how I started out with music in general. Um, I want to say, when we're all kids in middle school, like we'll make like a beat on the desk and
Yeah.
everything. So I was that annoying kid that just beat on the desk, and then people were like, "Yo, what are you doing, bro? Like make a beat, bro." They're like, "Make a beat." So this was back in 2007, 8. We were still in grade school, and there's this beat maker game. It wasn't really a program, it was a beat maker game. It was called Beaterator. I'll never forget it. Shout out Beaterator. I know it's not existing now, but shout out to Rockstar. I believe they were the programs for it. But it was like a game, and I would make beats out of it. And then after you make a beat, you could download the MP3, right? So then I would download the MP3, and then I put it on my MySpace at the time. And then like
Oh,
I would
that's
get
great.
I would
Hey,
get like
anyone out there who still has MySpace, please add me. I just added to MySpace. I just made a MySpace during the quarantine because I have
Yeah,
nothing going on.
Yeah. So it would get like 9, 10 plays from like my classmates, and I'm like, bro,
By
that's
the
so
way, sorry
yeah.
to interrupt, but did you know
No,
that MySpace is completely different now?
is it? Oh man,
Completely different interface. It's actually great for musicians. It's
really,
really good
really?
for musicians. It's good for anyone who's going into entertainment. It's kind of like LinkedIn for musicians.
I might look into that actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely look into that. And I'll add you to my top 8.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, let's get it.
hey, don't
No,
forget
but
to add Tom.
was it stressful though? I mean, here's the thing.
Was it
Like,
more stressful or joyful? Was it kind of like that spectrum, you know?
it wasn't stressful because, like I said, it was a game, right? The Beaterator, it was a game.
Right.
So it was so fun. I downloaded it, and then I guess when it became stressful was after like a couple years of just making beats. Like I was looking for rappers in my high school that would go off on it, and they're like, "Nah, bro, I ain't feeling this." And I would have people who don't really rap like that, but they're like, "Nah, bro, I'm not feeling this beat." And I'm like, you know what? If they're not feeling it, I'll just go off on it. So actually, I started rapping before I started singing because my singing, like my vocals weren't as polished as they are now. So that was what's stressful. I guess I wanted to do R&B, but my voice I wasn't confident first of all, and then two, it took a lot of polishing. But so I had to sort of force myself to rap first just to have a voice on the beat.
Stick
You
to what you know.
know? Yeah, exactly. So then after that, it wasn't. If there's anything that's stressful, it would just be like my confidence with it. And throughout many years, it's to the point now where I'm just like, life's too short. I might as well put music out there. Like there's no point in just keeping it to myself anymore. So it was I just decided to, if I'm making beats and if I'm making songs, like, and if I'm just showing it to close friends like David, like no one's really benefiting off of it except for my friends. So I just decided, like, let me just do this Edward Mante thing. Let me put it out there. And then the first song I really put out there was actually my intention. This was back at COVID, when COVID really hit and everything started closing down. I was just like, let me make a song for the essential workers. It's called Chaos. And I highlighted like 3, 4 people just to it was just something fun and something positive I wanted to do. And then I think that's what sort of gave me confidence to be consistent, at least with putting out music, because I've always been making music. I was never consistent with putting it out there. So I think now this
Sounds like a lot of musicians.
yeah, oh yeah, dude. So there's a lot of people who have the talent, and a lot of people who do have it. They just got to put it out there, bro. And that's what I decided to do, man. So
Wow.
How often do you practice singing?
I'd say I do like a little exercise every day. It's sort of like a habitual thing. You could call it like silent karaoke, where I do like, not to be too loud to where they can't hear me upstairs, but I'll practice it here and there. I think what I aside for the practice and the singing part, I think I work on music every day, whether it's just part of the beat I'm trying to do, or whether it's recording the little vocals for one of the songs. I try to do
Even
at least
something as small as like a
one thing. Yeah,
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 something as small as like a minute interlude or something like that.
yeah, something. Well, here's how small. Like today, I just finished like the last couple layers of the beat, but I didn't. I was like, because there's just so much I'm working on, like different songs I'm working on that I'll sort of just I won't be done with one project, then start another. Sometimes I'll be like 50% of one project, and then I'm feeling like a faster paced R&B song. So I'll save that project and I'll do another one. So it's everything's sort of out there. But as long as I'm just making progress, that's what I just try to focus on every day is just make progress. So
Wow.
that's the main thing behind it.
And what made you pick your stage name? That's the thing. I'm curious. Like,
Yeah, it's it's part of my full name. I don't want to say my full name out, but Edward Monte is part of like my full name, including like my mother's maiden name. That's those two names are part of like the whole you dig. You know what I'm saying? So I just decided, it's me. Um, I'm able, and this actually helped with the putting music out there, and the confidence part of it was using a stage name. And I was like, at least if I use a stage name, you know, music's just a part of me, but it's not only me. You know what I'm saying? Like the the Brian in me is just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? So I use the Monte to sort of, I guess, be that alter ego or that sort of persona that people would go to for my music. It's still me though. Still feels like me. It's still the 100% me. But it's a way I can give my all to the music and then associate it with that part of my life. So
Anyone who's listening to this right now, anyone if anyone would think of like a good maybe like a alter ego, you mentioned that, and I was just thinking like what if someone was named Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, or both? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, that was like a
yeah,
rapper's name.
man, that get it,
I
bro.
feel like I feel like that's like a missed opportunity with like the everyone's going crazy over the superhero movies now. It's
Yeah.
like it's actually ridiculous how corporatized it is now, and how much America propaganda is inside some of these movies. But like if they added that for something like yeah, I don't know, just
No, yeah, like I think especially in not even just the music industry, but in entertainment, there's so much people are afraid of looking goofy, and they're not willing to try out different experiments. And when you really think about it, I mean, if people feel like they're always failing, like once they find that one part of success that works for them, everyone's gonna forget about the failed attempts that they've done in the past, right? When I yeah, it's just you just have to don't be afraid of being goofy, right? Like it's people. You're always gonna have people who doubt you, first of all,
Yeah.
and no matter what, you might as well just keep doing what you're doing, and if it makes you happy, like might as well go for it. So, but yeah, I think like you said, there's a lot of missed opportunities out there, and it's like whether it's not me, like you're totally right. It's like people got to take advantage and you know go crazy with it. So that's
Damn.
sure.
so weird question here.
Why you get?
So, do you have your own version? I know you have your own version of, I'm sure, different covers, different music. Maybe you
Okay.
thought about doing a cover or something like that. But do you have your own version for songs like Happy Birthday, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, those kind of
Mm,
songs?
Man, that's a great question. I
Because you
was
know, if you
yeah,
go to a restaurant,
yeah,
sometimes they'll have their own Happy Birthday song.
yeah. I've actually thought about, and this is actually if any of my subscribers, I mean my subscribers will listen to this, but I'm actually trying to do like a happy birthday sort of track.
Oh, how about
It
that?
can be,
Oh snap!
'cause I know Drake just did one, which is no problem. Like I'm not trying to copy him or
Fuck Drake.
know.
It's all about you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's I've always wanted like my own version of Happy Birthday that I could just if people get turned, I could just like play it in the back. I could play it, and then David just comes himself and gets turned with it.
If
And
you
I've
make
always
a
thought about.
song, and assuming you give us the permission to use it,
Oh, of
as much as
course,
we
like
want,
I think
yeah. Whenever it's someone's birthday or whatever, if we mention someone's, we got to add that in there for every single
yeah,
mention of a
yeah,
birthday, every single reference of a birthday.
yeah. Like I actually
But
thought
yeah,
of
no pressure or anything. I don't want you to make the song like tomorrow or whatever. So
no, I've actually thought about this a lot. Like I thought about the beat already, and I thought about like the chorus. No, I've actually thought about that, like the happy birthday track. It's just I want to find the right time to put it out there. But no, so yeah, you could say something's in the works for that. Yeah, let's put it out there. Yeah,
that's great. Wow,
so,
shot in the dark. Wow, we already got some breaking news here.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
sneak peek. You know what I'm saying? Sneak peek.
Do you like? I don't know if you've ever done. Have you ever done live or anything? Do you like doing that stuff?
So I'm really different in terms of I don't if this thing ever gets successful, I don't think I don't want to go about it the ordinary way. If there's one thing I want from all of this, it's to be a songwriter, right? So it's to sort of work behind the scenes. I have been in a couple live shows. I've been in a lot of terrible live shows, but I think the most recent ones that I've done were positives, and that's what gave me the confidence to just even put music out there. But it's it's definitely a different feeling. And the last couple live things that I've done, yeah, it felt really good. The set was pretty well. The people at the bar were fucking with it. And oh, sorry if I swear. I don't know if I
No,
can.
it's fine. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, it's a good experience. Is it something that I want to do? And not to break any hearts of the people who already listen to my music, but I don't really plan on like touring, and being that like I
yeah.
just want
So
to be the one that makes songs, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. So I guess that was kind of my other question. My question was mostly about how do you, and this still applies for you
Yeah.
now. How do you overcome like stuff like stage fright and stuff like that? That's a very common question. And also, or either that or are you mostly recording alone and that kind of thing?
Oh, bro, you got to so the stage fright thing. You have to fail. I think that's really the only way to get over it is have one sort of embarrassing set. And then once it's over, you're like, oh, that's it. Like, it wasn't even that
Yeah,
bad.
it's
Right.
like getting blown out. Like in like a like your favorite baseball team or basketball team or whatever, they get blown out. You forget about it. You just move on. Next clean slate. Next day.
Yeah, like, dude, I remember one time it was an open mic at at this college, bro, and
The perfect place to fail. Yeah.
it was so bad, bro. Like it was. David, bro, you gonna be so funny when you. But it was just and there was a thing. I was really new, so this was before I went to Northeastern, David. I was at a different college, and I started. It was a very small college, homie. So the thing about this college was it was very small, and at
What's it
least
called?
for me, it's I don't know if I want to put it out there like that, but
Okay. All right.
yeah, but because my experience wasn't that good with it, but Oh fuck it, I'll just say it's Dominican University, right? So
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah,
I've heard of that.
it's right there in River
I see the
Forest.
ads all the
Shout
time.
out, yeah, shout out DU, shout out DU. It was actually I met a bunch of good people out there, but shout out Andre, shout out Mayo, but I met a good amount. Shout out Jessica, David.
Right. Hey, hey.
She went
Here,
there.
last episode.
Yeah. So I, let's say I made a good first impression on a lot of people, right? To the point where it was just I didn't really have to worry about social life because it was just like whatever. Like I, I didn't care about what happened. People just sort of knew me, not to toot my own horn or anything, but it was just people just fucked with my personality once I got out there. So I'm like, cool. It was just real fun once I got there. So I remember.
But before you dive
Yeah,
deeper, are you
go
the
ahead.
type of person who does not eat or something like that before like like a big thing like that? If you're preparing yourself for like a big performance, are you the type of
Oh,
person who avoids eating or that kind of thing? The
nah,
weird things like that?
no, I don't have any weird superstitions. If anything, give me a shot of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm I'm that type of not even performer but person. Like before something big, I try to be as loose and relaxing before as possible. I don't have any weird superstitions or anything. But going back to the story, this I'll never forget because it was an open mic. And one thing I've learned, at least for me, was I'll show my music to people who I'm really comfortable with, right? But I think at this time I was just showing my music to everyone, so everyone sort of had this expectation that like, oh, here's a singer, oh shit, like he's gonna pop off, he's gonna pop off. So, bro, David, I'll never forget. There's this I was really cool with this one girl, right? And she had a friend that I'm gonna sound like such a simp, homie, bro. It's so ridiculous, but she
We've
had a
all been there.
she had a friend that was probably the baddest girl in the university, and like I had a good first impression with her, right? So she was she was like, hey Brian, I heard you singing, like I can't wait, and I'm like, bro, like let's get it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, she's getting me excited, but at the same time it's scary because I'm like, fuck, now there's an expectation, you know what I'm saying? And so we go out there and she's with her friends. So I'm just like, fuck, like it's her.
Game 7 pressure.
That's what I'm saying. So she got like 5 friends, and I'm like, David, bro, like I'm this you gonna be disappointed in me, bro. So the song I decided to sing, which was a mistake because it's such a great song, but you need to practice it a lot before you perform it in an open mic. I decided to sing "Thinking About You" by Frank Ocean.
Oh,
Like,
that is a tough one.
it's one of my
That's a tough
favorite
one.
songs, and I'm like,
That is tough. That's
yeah.
hard.
And like for me, what I should have did, not to be too crazy with the musical terms, but I should have went falsetto with the higher part. I decided to belt out that motherfucker, bro. So start off, all right, people vibing, and then when it came to the "Do you not think so far," like all that part, I decided to belt it out instead of falsettoing it, and bro, voice cracked. Oh my god!
Hey,
Ooh, like motherfuckers were laughing. I see I
Oh,
see the girl. I ain't gonna say her name, but
oh
she out there.
no.
She low key like chuckling. I'm like, fuck, I fucked up everything. So it was after that, bro, and like, bro, when I think about it now, it's really not that big of a deal now. But back
Yeah.
then, oh, bro, I was so
It was
embarrassed.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, and like all these people thought like I was such a good singer, and they're like, oh, fuck. Hey, what song you making on now? Like I'm sort of like the joke on campus. Well, not really the joke on campus, but it's like oh shit, that's a dude that cracked, in the open mic. So,
Oh my God. Yeah.
but
Then
since
you'll forever be known as
yeah,
the guy who cracked, the
yeah,
cackled that
but
cracked.
man, if there's one thing I could tell for anyone who hasn't gone through this yet and they're thinking about going through it or thinking about doing music, was this is the same year I attended a talent show at Dominican, and I actually did pretty well on this talent show. But this this talent show, I'll never forget, homie. I'm gonna tell you, homie and David. I'll tell you why because there was two singers, right? Let's say singer A, singer B, right? Singer A went to got like is a gospel singer. She's part of a choir, so you know she could really sing.
Right.
Like she's trained, almost professional. Like she's going there for music. You know what I'm saying? So she's a good singer. Singer B is just a guy with a guitar. You know what I'm saying? Singer A does her performance. She does really well, but her performance, there's not really a lot of emotion into it. And you could just tell she's such a good singer. You know what I'm saying? So she does her thing and she actually does pretty well, not gonna lie. And she sings a gospel song and she kills it. Singer B goes up, right? He's saying Just My Imagination Temptations. I remember the song, bro. Like it was so it's just singer B. No one knew he could sing like that. And he wasn't even that great of a singer, but there was such an emotional aspect to the song, homie, that I'll never forget it to this day. Like he had the whole room quiet. And like with his guitar, he wasn't even hitting like all these complicated chords. Like he was just strumming like a simple strum. And it was just something about his voice and something behind it where I'm just like, it's really about the connection you have with the audience, you know, and he was able to capture all of our, you know, all of our attention. I think he won first place actually, but he was he wasn't even that great of a singer, but you know, he was on tune, right? He was hitting the notes. It was just the emotion behind it. You know, I'll never forget that. So if anyone's worrying about a performance, just, you know, try to get the emotional aspect of whatever you're trying to do for your performance and really just, you know, do your thing. Like, don't worry if it's going to be good or not. Just put some emotion behind it. And then next thing you know, you're going to capture the audience as long as you have that emotional aspect for it. So I'll never forget that singer beef. I mean, fuck, I forgot his name, but he killed it, man. I was like, oh, and he had such a huge applause after he finished. So that sort of like gave me confidence that, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not the best singer, right? It's just as long as you do you, right? You put some emotion behind it, and the next thing you know, people are just gonna fuck with it. So
I like that.
performances after that, I'd say, were much better. After those years.
It's amazing how like music does that to you, and how it does that to your brain. It comes up with like kind of like those kind of responses in your brain. You know, you could be listening to a certain part of a song, and you'll be thinking of something like way back then. And you'll be like, oh my god, you know, I remember hanging out with this person, and you know, this person's now dead or something like that. You know, you come up with those kind of thoughts. You know, or you know, when it just comes to like, oh wow, I think of this girl when I think of this song. You know, and you know, and she rejected me in the most laughable way. And it's very sad.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, guys, we got like a few minutes left. But I'm gonna wrap it
Oh,
up a bit. But I want to thank, you know, Edward Monte for coming through.
My
Uh,
boy.
where can our audience find you? And guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
What's
So I guess the main way you can find me is on Instagram. So just search up my name, Edward Monte. Something should come up. But if not, the username should be Edward Monte underscore. So it's like Edward Monte all in one, then underscore after that. And then on YouTube, yeah, you could just type in Edward Monte and Mante. And then I guess the song that people I guess the most popular song is called Right Now. So just search up Right Now, Edward Monte, and then I should pop up. I should be one of the first ones that pops up.
okay?
Yeah, so,
Player. Man, but yeah, man, thank you for coming through, bro. This is an honor.
sir,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, Hami, too.
yeah.
And
Thank
yeah,
you, Edward, man. That was great.
right.
Thank
Let's keep
you.
in touch, guys. Peace.
Peace.